Let his .44 Magnum do his talking for him and for us.
Stop! No. Don't do anything more. No, you tried to kill me. No.
You need any help, Harry?
Go on out and get some air, fatso.
Please, no more.
I'm hurt. Can't you see? I'm hurt. You shot me. Please, don't. Let me have a doctor. Let me have a doctor. Please give me a doctor. Don't kill me. The girl, where is she?
You tried to kill me.
If I tried that, your head would be splattered all over this field. Now, where's the girl?
I want a lawyer.
I said, where's the girl?
I have the right for a lawyer.
Where's the girl?
I have the right for a lawyer. Doctor, please. I have rights for a lawyer.
It was weird for me to be in that film. I knew nothing about films or filmmaking. And when they sent me the script for Dirty Harry, I didn't even know how to read a film script. I read it, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like it because I just didn't get it. I didn't get how the story was being told. It was very different from reading a play. And I didn't get the character. And the character, of course, was described very differently. He was like this balding guy in a T-shirt with a paunch who hangs around in bus stations. So I didn't have a vision for it. I just sort of like had this idea that this was a very nasty human being. I mean, how do you play someone who's as evil and who is as murderous and as violent and as demented as that? I have no idea why they hired me. I once asked Siegel, why did you hire me for this role? And he said, because I wanted somebody who had the face of a choir boy. Which I guess I did in those days. So when I got to San Francisco, I said to Don, I said, I can only do what I can do because I'm not that guy on the page. And Don said, I didn't hire the guy on the page, I hired you.
You really want $200 worth.
Every penny of it.
Might as well be comfortable. Go on, sit. Relax. Take it easy. It's gonna be all right.
So I walked into Dirty Harry playing this basically deranged Vietnam veteran. And the violence of the film and the character I playing being the perpetrator of the violence of the film, it was tough for me, but I'm also an actor. And basically what happened was a collaboration began, and it opened my eyes to what filmmaking was about. And it was probably the most important and the most complete collaboration I've ever had as an actor in film.
Drop the gun, freak! I'll blow his brains out! Drop the fucking gun! Huh?
There's a moment in the film where he holds the gun on the Scorpio killer and he says, "I know what you're thinking. Did I fire 5 or 6? The famous line. The famous line. If I had a buck for every guy, and it's always a guy, by the way, all over the world who's come up to me and quoted that line in its entirety to me, I gotta tell you, I'd be a rich man now."
did he fire 6 shots or only 5, was really unique, because to come up and have sort of a playful interaction with somebody you've just shot, and he sort of torments him, was something that hadn't been done too much in film.
I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Now, to tell you the truth, I forgot myself in all this excitement. But being this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off, you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
And reprising it at the end, he'd become more bitter. But it was like his running routine. He still knew all the words to it, but his attitude was totally different, because he was, at that time, very disenchanted with the way things had gone.
No, this stuff isn't getting to me. The shootings, the knifings, the beatings, old ladies being bashed in the head for their Social Security checks, teachers being thrown out of a 4th floor window because they don't get A's. That doesn't bother me a bit.
Come on, Harry, take it easy.
Or this job either, having to wade through the scum of this city, being swept away by bigger and bigger waves of corruption, apathy, and red tape. No, that doesn't bother me. But you know what does bother me?
What?
You know what makes me really sick to my stomach?
What?
It's watching you stuff your face with those hot dogs. Nobody, I mean nobody, puts ketchup on a hot dog.
I had never seen a Dirty Harry movie when I went to audition for this. I only knew Clint from being Rowdy Yates. And so I didn't have any preconceived notions, and I sort of treated it, you know, as a whole thing by itself.
Well, Officer Moore, maybe you'll tell us all here about your most important felony arrest.
I've never made a felony arrest.
Well, maybe you'll tell us about your best misdemeanor arrest, then.
I've never made a misdemeanor arrest either.
Then what the hell gives you the right to become an inspector when there's men have been out there on the street for 10 or 15 years?
The woman's place is in the home. Is that what you're trying to say?
What do you think this is, some kind of encounter group? I want to know what Officer Moore is going to do when somebody points a gun at her and says, "Hit the deck, you son of a bitch!"
You're just deliberately trying to fail this candidate, aren't you, Callahan?
Well, if she fails out there, she gets her ass blown off.
It's my ass.
I thought that the woman on the page was a cartoon instead of a human being, so I turned them down. And then they offered me more money. And then I turned them down again. And then they said to me, would you like to meet Clint? And I said, sure. And I went in to meet him, and he said, what is wrong with you? And I said, well, I think she's a cartoon. And he said, then you know, let's talk about it. So we kind of talked our way through the script.
Listen, Inspector, I realize that you were not particularly overjoyed by this assignment, because you don't think I'm up to it, do you?
Right.
All right. In that case, I would like to get one thing straight, and that is the fact that I'm a woman. But I consider that fact absolutely irrelevant from now on, because I will not accept, nor do I expect, any special consideration.
Marvelous.
What is it about Dirty Harry that still rings fresh and contemporary after 30 years? Well, like any lasting character in film or literature, Harry Callahan is a product of his time. But if we truly hope to understand him, we have to understand this country in the early 70s. Vietnam, Watergate, political assassinations, and the emergence of a new class of criminal, the violent psychopath. Suddenly, the good guys weren't winning anymore, and the feeling was, somehow, somewhere, we'd lost control.
Move it! Sit down.
You really are a dirty bastard. Dirtiest. Man's got to know his limitations.